Right, so it's currently 6:18 in the morning, and soon these early morning wake ups are gonna stop because it's gonna be late night bedtime, right? I'm moving into the US market for SMMA, and I had a couple realizations yesterday which I'll touch on, and I actually didn't make a video last night, so I want to make it right now, tell you the realizations I've had, and give you like a rundown of what's changing and what I'm going to be doing today, and then I'll make a video later today and I'll tell you how that's gone. Where do I start? You have two options. You can either say, I can or I can't. And the man that says I can and the man that says I can't, both are inherently true. Right? You can wake up and you can consciously decide, I will be the man. I am that guy. Like, I will get it done. Right? And then what happens as a result of that, you get more shit done. And my mentor, and I'd say friend at this point, told me this last night, and it clicked because he put it into words for me. You know when you have thoughts and you don't know how to express it verbally? Well, he did for me. And I think everyone has to operate in their life, man or woman, and think, I'm just gonna get it done today. I'm just gonna do that shit. I'm just gonna do it because fucking if I don't, who will? No one's coming to save me, so I just gotta do it myself, right? And I think it's that comfortability that stops people from thinking like that as well. I think it can also be a survival mechanism if you really think about it, but that's not really the point of this video. I'm moving into US market, reason being business stagnating. It's going down in life. You're either going up, you're going down, this is going down. And everyone for a long time has been telling me to get into the US market. So why fucking not? Let's just do it. I'm thinking about changing niches to something that's year round, kind of weatherproofed, season proofed, all of these things, so that it's consistent. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking about remodeling, potentially flooring. I don't know. So I'm going to ask about, do a bit of research myself today as well. I need to get A2P approved. I need to film some more content for the agency channel. I need to fine tune a couple things. I'm going to do a lot of sales roleplay today. To be honest, and maybe I could, but I'm not going to book any meetings with anyone from here. Because I just don't want to waste my money on something that I'm not going to be in. For context, to send 600 messages, it cost me $30. I don't know if that's the same for US like rates, but I heard that Twilio's a lot more expensive in the UK, so for that reason. Oh, fuck me, that water is not warm enough. Anyway. Alhamdulillah. Astaghfirullah. I heard Twilio's more expensive here, so I don't want to waste money. That being said though, my whole routine's going to be changing. I mean, on the East Coast I'll be going to bed at around 11 anyway, since that's the end of the work day. But in terms of Pacific Standard Time and the West Coast, I don't know what that is. If that is Pacific Standard, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Right, that's like 9 hours behind me, 8 hours behind me. So when it's 6 PM, it's 3 AM for me. Meaning that if I have a meeting at 6 PM their time, it's gonna be 3 AM for me. Which isn't awful. I don't mind that at all, as long as I can pray my 5 Salah and get my work done, and I'll figure out a way to prioritise everything else as well in my life. Then it's pretty chill. The one thing I'm not excited about though is that 5 a.m. wake up. Right, not being able to do that, not being able to do the 4:30 wake ups. Because there's a different energy about this. Like, it's early right now, I know no one's awake. I know you watching this, you probably weren't awake. Right, it's dark out right now, I've got a coffee, I'm about to hit a heavy work session, and then I'm going to go gym after it. Like, there's no better feeling than that. Now, I think it's just going to adjust, really. And one thing I'm also kind of concerned about is, like, when I work in the mornings, I'm super dialed, right? I'm super focused, and I love that because I'm not as stimulated. I've listened to Quran this morning, and I've listened to one YouTube video, and I've prayed Salah, I've prayed my Sunnah, and I don't want this clarity of mine to change. Now, the only way that we'll find out is if we actually do. So, I'm gonna push that thought aside and wait until I've got proof of concept. Now, realistically, it's not gonna affect shit. Like, I'm not gonna not go to the US because I don't have clarity in the morning, because I'm not fucking gay. But I will miss it. And I think once my business gets more automated, I'll be able to do the 5 wake ups, but I think it's looking up, definitely. My sales is improving a lot. I'm role playing with a guy called Lewis. Big up Lewis if you're watching this. Really solid guy. He'll go far, I think. And I believe I'll go far too, so I need to keep the sales role plays up. I need to book more appointments and sort of show up right, and then crack service delivery, but I'm already kind of halfway to doing that. To be honest, I'm really happy with the progress that I'm making at the moment in terms of everything. Right, gym, work, overall habits, even like Islamically. Like I slipped a little bit and now I'm getting back on it. And one of the biggest things as well that I talked to Dom about yesterday was the fact that I was a bit too hard on myself, and I think a lot of people are when they hold themselves to a high standard. And I actually realised, right, that being hard on yourself is kind of retarded. Because when I used to miss my 4:30 a.m. wake ups and I'd wake up at 9, I'd wake up and I'd think, oh, you're a flipping idiot, you're stupid, this, that, and the other, right? But what that did was that just made my subconscious shit, right? I felt shit inside. I didn't have a good work day that day, and then the next day I had to wake up, I wouldn't, right? It's until I stopped beating myself up and I started treating it like it was just me, and if I slipped up, that's fine, because I've got another chance to redeem myself tomorrow, right? That I actually started consistently waking up. Yesterday, I didn't wake up at 5. I woke up at 8:30, which is late for me, early for some. And instead of going like, that's so stupid, why would you do that? I just said, okay, I'm just going to smash the day regardless. I've not got a couple hours extra work done, but realistically, I can still catch up on that. Who cares? I'm just going to get it done, right? And because I didn't beat myself up, because I was quick to bounce back, I woke up at 5 this morning, I've done everything, I feel great, my head doesn't feel loopy because I'm just constantly putting pressure on myself. But this same principle applies for like everything you do. If you don't have a good day, if you fail, if you do whatever, why would you hold yourself to that tomorrow? A day where you don't know what's going to happen, a day where, you know, quite literally yesterday doesn't matter. So why are you carrying the old luggage of yesterday with you today? Because where's it actually going to get you? It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you shit. And furthermore, I want to talk on keeping bad memories in the past, in a sense. So, like, for example, if you had a really bad day cold calling yesterday, or a bad day booking meetings yesterday, and then you carry that over with you today and think, well, today might be a bad day for booking meetings. Well, what's it going to be? It's going to be a bad day for booking meetings, man. Because you are, without even going through the day labelling it due to a past experience, that doesn't mean anything anymore. Because the past and the future doesn't exist. It cannot be proven. The only way, and I think I said this in the video before, the only way that we remember things is through sort of like an emotional attachment which forms the memory. And it's only through emotion that we remember past experiences. But how volatile are emotions? Because emotions are very volatile. So think about it, right? Who's to say the memory that you hold of X time frame was even like that? No one can say that. It's inherently true. And for that, it helps you learn to let go of the past. To let go of things that don't need to be carried with you today. Now, I do agree that you need memory, because how are you meant to get in a positive feedback loop without memory? But just as quick as you get in a positive feedback loop, you get in a negative feedback loop, right? So you also have to be wary of that. And I think a lot of this game of becoming a better man, a lot of this game of becoming a better business owner, is self-awareness. And like, you don't, fuck everything from it. Discipline, subconscious programming. If you were just self-aware, you could fix your problems so fast. And I think the difference between people who are successful and unsuccessful is really how quick do they bounce back, right? Like, for example, a rich guy goes and watches Netflix with his wife, right? Does he feel guilt or shame after? Well, why would he? Yes, he could have done something better, but feeling that guilt or shame will only lead him to have poorer work quality. So now he's going to bounce back in a positive manner and go, okay, look, Netflix done, finished. I'm not going to do this for the next couple of days because I need to lock in. And likewise, the guy that puts a lot of pressure on himself, the guy that really thinks, oh, I need to be super hard working and disciplined, well, he's going to feel guilty and shameful. And then what? Because when you lead a country, when you lead an army by guilt or shame, are they going to love what they do? Are they going to love their life? Are they going to be abundant? No. So how quick can you bounce back in a positive manner when you've done something that wasn't actually that high of a return on investment? And that's not me saying don't feel that shame, guilt, the weight of that decision on you. Because I think it's important to reflect. If I go and do heroin, I'm not just going to, I'm going to bounce back quickly. No, obviously not. I'm going to think to myself, well, that's fucking stupid. I ain't ever doing that again. And then I'll bounce back in a positive manner. Right, well, fuck this then. I want to make something way more of myself. So that's like the framework, like the step I said. You don't hold on to that emotion, that negative emotion, too long. Just enough for you to reflect on it. And, this video kind of went off topic a little bit. But I think this really applies to me overall and could possibly apply to you. And maybe you're just not too aware of it, right? When you put that guilt and that shame on you, inevitably, what's going to end up happening is you'll hate yourself. And I mean, the you at your dream outcome, does he hate himself? Does he hate his life? No. So you have to fix that. And by no means am I saying that you need to be some uplifting, positive, affirmations in the mirror, guru, Ashton Hall 4am, 3am wake ups, ice on the face. But it's perfectly normal to slip up, and it's perfectly normal to not be perfect. Just bounce back quicker. And I think that's the true differentiator. Now, I had some other things I wanted to talk on in this video, so I want to try and think of it quickfire whilst I kind of fill in for this gap. You can get resourceful, right? You can get resourceful with whatever you're doing. And it's by the will of God, it's by the will of Allah that you get outcomes, I believe. I believe that it's due to God, right? You've done the action and God's bring it down. And okay, there's an ayah in the Quran, and I'm not a scholar, but I'll share my interpretations of what I've learned. And the ayah says that Allah doesn't burden a soul beyond which it can bear, right? And that's a beautiful saying, because what it means is that you'll never go through hardship that you can't handle. But likewise, there's an opposite end of the spectrum, where you won't go through any rewards you can't handle. Think about it, right? The reason that you don't have £1 million is because you can't handle £1 million. Whether you'll become arrogant, whether you'll make a bad investment, whether it's not the right time for you to have that because X, Y, Z, right? This comes down as well to like choosing who you want to be. And the reason I'm saying this is because I was speaking to one of my Muslim brothers, Tawana, big up to you if you're watching this. And he asked me, should I get into lead generation, should I do websites? And I said to him, look, brother, like, you won't ever know until you try, but because you're not letting yourself try, Allah hasn't given you that client to try lead gen on, and therefore you don't know, and Allah's not giving you the barakah or the reward or anything like that in terms of like potential like money, whatever. But then you also don't know what's past that because you've not even brought through the first stage. And so Allah doesn't burden a soul beyond which it can bear. If you're choosing not to bear something, well then that means that you are inevitably just stopping yourself from getting to X position. So what are you actually doing right now that could be changed, that you know you need to change to become better, right? What are you actually stopping and preventing that could get you to the next level? And I think I want to end it off here. I'm obviously going to film a video tonight, but I want to end it off here with that question, right? What is stopping you from becoming the man you want to be? And I think I want you guys to think about that. I want you guys to think about that and just let me know in the comments.